All right, I think we're back up. Cool. Pro Tools session up, template imported. I'm going to import this MIDI file. Yeah. Bingo. Cool. Can I have a grid a little bit? Meter markers. And let's get the files in. Okay, so this stream we started, in case you didn't see the sort of opening of this, we've been working on this song called God Says, produced by my buddy Kurt Kenhai, and we are in the final phase. We're going to work on mix one today, ever so carefully. It took me a second, but I think I have this set up where you guys will be able to hear a nice clean feed, and I'll be able to take the Slate VSX headphones for another spin. Really excited to put these things through the paces. I've enjoyed mixing on them quite a bit, actually. So I'm excited. I'm going to turn everything down. My son is bringing me my lunch right now. Open it up, son, and parse it out. And I'm going to start sorting these tracks according to what I see them labeled as. I'm going to throw the electric guitars in their folder. Really proud of the electric guitar tones we got during this recording. Yep. Thanks, bud. Hats, overheads. Let's go here. Thank you. Soup will be fun. Perks. Ton of perks. Not a ton, I guess. Good bit. So first thing I'm always going to want to do is just get the point of the track folders. Absolutely. Garrick Battle, good to meet you, man. Where are you from? We got vocals here. I'm going to throw these down here. For the most part, the lead will go here. Now use one of these preset channels. And we'll essentially just start dragging and dropping stuff in. Harms and whatnot. I probably don't need these groupings for tenor and soprano because for the most part, she's just saying a two-part harmony. I can remember that much from the top of this week. Snare top and bottom. Room left, room right. Okay. Drag the rest of those into drums. A lot of this, rest of this stuff is probably synths. Oh, yeah. This is probably rim shot. Wash pad, pad high, bass. Would go here. Swell would go there. Yeah, there's two effect swells. I remember that. And the rest of this stuff is synths. Okay, so Mount Vernon, New York. Wow, Garrick Battle, good to meet you, man. What do you play? You play keys, you play drums, you mix, you produce. What does that look like for you? I need like an intercom system in my house because my son forgot my spoon. It just is what it is. Got it. Mount Vernon, New York. Good to meet you, Garrett. Okay, so let's get cranking. We'll color code some stuff quick before we listen to anything. We want to make sure we are locked in and good to go. There's no synth bass on this song. That makes sense. I remember we got rid of it. So we'll copy this into our bass track, delete those files, close that out. The guitars, I'll go back and route the bass in a moment. We'll route these guitars to the guitar bus. Cool to see a bunch of mono guitars in there. We really wanted to work on that, and it happened. All right, I'm gonna route these acoustic channels. I can read. Awesome, man. I think mixing is one of the best ways to get better at production. Not that you have to become like some nerd expert at it, but I do think kind of similar to video. I think the best shooters I've met videography wise are guys that edit their own stuff. You learn a whole lot about editing informs a lot of the video production process, the capture process. And I feel like the same is true in music. The more you can learn to mix your own stuff, the more you confront problems in your process that limit the quality that you're able to achieve, in my opinion. All right, we have everything color coded and routed. Music wise, I want to make sure I'm going to start with drums and just kind of move some of this stuff around. I don't know why we bounced bass drum out because we didn't use it. Hats and overheads, let's get that settled. I'm just going to drag these files up. These two mono overhead tracks will become a stereo pair. I'm going to delete these. These room mics will be fun. I think I'm going to just duplicate my overhead channels and call them a room. And then I'm going to drag those as a pair in there. Delete that. These toms are interesting because I bounced them triggered already. So it'll just take a second. I'm splitting them to mono tracks. They were already triggered, so they printed as stereo files. I'm going to... Man, it's the way I did not know. I already had that. Okay, Tom 1. Cool. I'll align that one. I'm going to split the mono. This John. Tom 3. Okay, clean this up. All this is just part of that preparation going into the session. I think it's why, man, if I could build a manifesto here, I would encourage you to label and organize your tracks before you bounce them. It's what I've done. And anytime you have to send anything to a mix engineer, or even if you're just prepping stems to be used, Sequimika, good to see you. I need like a picture of what you look like, not on some weird stuff. It's just who you are and what your YouTube name is are gonna need to match for me. I'm gonna need to be able to like connect those two. It's gonna help me a lot on my journey, I feel like. All right. Boom. Top mic separated. Grab this bottom snare mic, drag these up into these channels. Boom. Snare 2. Oh, no. Okay, I'll use that. Boom. And then here's bottom. All right. Let's see. Do I have snare 1 in the wing somewhere? No, I do not. No matter. I can make that how we want. I'm triggering the snare twice. I'll explain why that is in a moment. Okay, cool. Boom. Tom 2, split the mono, and I'm going to drag you right there. Okay. Boom. And then I have rim shot. Kind of organize that. We'll get that triggered in a moment. All right. Cool. We are ready to start listening to some tones. I've created this nice little listen bus. We'll take some of the slate stuff. Chris Hippolyte, good to see you, brother. How you doing? How's your Saturday going? Y'all come in the chat, man. Let me know how you're doing. I almost want to no way. Have I not done that? I've not used these on this computer. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Forgot I haven't used these in here. I've been mixing on my laptop. So sorry. So if you're not hip to these, I'll kind of walk you through them in a minute. Promise. Promise. They're cool though. All right, I'm gonna just start with kick and let's just see what happens so my computer doesn't blow up. Ooh, that joint is working. Now this is jazzy. I like this a lot. What's my go-to room? I hate the rooms in VSX. Let me just start there. I hate most of them. I'm going to be honest with you. I do not, for mixing, I do not really understand the fascination with these profiles. What I use is the HD linear. Yeah, because I don't like these add EQ and reverb and ambience to them that do not that make me pause and want to question choices that I'm making. Like I've mixed in headphones for so long. I think the vibe of it being in a room is just extra. I didn't ask for that. Room ambience. Literally it's like room ambience, reverb ambience added to the mix while I'm trying to mix, which each of the rooms like naturally and like embellishes low end in certain spots here, embellishes high end. Then they've got all these different like EQ curves you could turn around and apply to the room, which doesn't feel like no, I haven't tried that NS10 in the Archon room. I'm just gonna say that. I've tried 3 or 4 other rooms and the reverb added to them. What I love about this HD linear is that it is objective. If the mix sounds good in HD linear, it will translate everywhere. Flat. HD linear, flat. No EQs on, nothing turned up, no extra. Just does the mix sound good and balanced in headphones? Is this balance going to translate somewhere else? That's what I need. That's what I'm used to with my SonarWorks setup. And that's kind of what I came into this. The difference being these are closed back headphones, and normally I'm mixed on open back headphones. So I was open to the idea that closed back would give me better bass response, and just be more satisfying in the process. Whereas open backs are like easier on my ears a little bit, and just a task and a chore. All that being said, yeah, bro, that the rooms are whack to me. If I'm just being honest. I literally just muted myself so I could yell at my kid. It's hilarious. I'll try the NS10 on this Akron thing. The near fields, no, man. Like the kick sounds like it's in a room, and it does weird, crunchy stuff to the low end. To me, it's goofy. Now, here's what I will say. When I'm working, I did make a track in these, like producing these from start to finish. That was rather enjoyable. Incredibly enjoyable. Clark, what up, man? Yes, Garrick. I'm very sure I don't like it because I'm used to mixing in headphones. I'm very sure. And I'm used to the flat response. I don't like, and when I don't want to mix in headphones, I don't prefer SonarWorks, David. I'm not. I think the SonarWorks is more versatile, in my opinion. I didn't know we were going here today, but it's cool. We're here now. I think the SonarWorks is more versatile, in my opinion, because I do not see the use. If you guys could hear it, it's literally whatever corrective EQ curve they've applied, and then just imagine like 16 different versions of a room reverb turned on at various depths with various amounts of decay and bass multiplication happening in some spots. And it's like, how is that helping me mix? I guess it's synthesizing what that experience would be in that room, but I think the function of mixing in headphones to me is to take my room and its imperfections out of the equation and create an objective, neutral, linear playground for me to trust that is free of bias. Like correct what the bias of the headphones, and if this mid frequency is poking in these headphones, it pokes everywhere except for a room that's completely jacked up. And I don't want to listen to it in a bunch of rooms that are completely jacked up. I want to listen to it in in an ideal setting. Then it will translate well in all those other spaces. Um yeah, I love those DC 900 Pro X's. And I actually realized I haven't seen them in like a month because I've been mixing in these, and I just got nervous that I don't know where they are because they're normally in my bag. But the VSXs have been in my bag for the last month. I've been just trying to try them out. I bought into the hype, peer pressure, and I kind of hate myself for doing that because I spent the money on all the extra rooms and da da da, and I cut that junk on. This boombox thing, it sounds terrible because it's a corrective EQ, and then the reverb. I'm sorry, the reverb is just stupid. Sorry. Take me right on back here. I literally just clicked this because old boy told me to do it, and I hit near field, and I was like, no, this sounds like if I just want that, I just do this. Take this off and listen to it in my room like this. I have speakers for that. Sorry. Really, I paid them though. I paid them good money for these headphones. They're nice headphones. They're comfortable. The software is a little. I think I prefer the SonarWorks because I can use whatever headphones I want to, and the software in and of itself is just the $99. So I think I will recommend that to people more often than I recommend the VSX, because the VSX as a package is $200-300 to get in the gate. It is nice that you have the software in the headphones, and I feel like you can achieve some similar things, even though I think the corrective curves and the translation things that they do in, like here, you've got, I would assume these are AirPod curves, and LCD TV curves. But then this is modeling M50s, which would be like the most popular Audio Technica headphones, I would assume. 650s, I think, are Sennheisers. 770s, I can't remember who those are. And this is just like a linear response curve. Then everything else in here inherits reverb naturally, which is Slate Digital. Of all the things you guys have done lately, and you've done some amazing things, I want to give you your praise. Honor and glory be bestowed to your audio name. Boy, adding plate reverb to my mix is stupid for monitoring purposes. There you go. 770s are the Beyerdynamics. That's felt like it. Man, sorry. I just got frustrated. I need to drink some water. Whew. All right. No, that is not what you came for today. Sorry. Now, something I thought I did right when I started this session that is not functioning right is the importing of this MIDI track, which did not go well. We'll do it one more time. Why do you import a MIDI track, Matt? Good question. Glad you asked. You didn't ask, but I'm going to tell you. I use a MIDI track, new tracks, instrument track, clip this. Boom, shakalaka. Now that's right. 76 BPM, right on the button. That's right. Okay, why did I just do that? Because I made this track in Studio One, and I did not want to have to listen to it and make markers all over again, which is what it's asking me to do right now, and I don't want to do. So that just imported the tempo. I'm going to import MIDI one more time. Bingo. Let me see what that did. Yep. Okay, kicks are aligned. Bingo. And everything's lined up. Okay, let me make sure this is right. Yep. Okay, now I don't have to listen to the whole song and remake the same markers I already made in Studio One. I saved my Studio One session as a MIDI file. And imported that MIDI file, which included some MIDI data, which I deleted. But embedded in that MIDI data was tempo, meter, and markers, which it gladly spit out right into my timeline, which is helpful. Now we'll start the chorus and get to work. Hopefully you guys got good level. I'm just checking to make sure all of that's good for y'all. Okay, stinking VSX. Freaking. These things just... It's about to be real straightforward. Okay, so we'll gain stage a bit. Got a nice kick trigger. Nothing revolutionary. I use the exact same kick trigger on 70% of the records I'm a part of. And the time is 3:14 Eastern Standard. I made myself a promise that we were going to be done with this by 4:35 o'clock. I'm going to talk as I do it, but we're going to move. Okay. This is good. Can I do what from Logic? Do you have a target dB for your individual tracks and master when you're doing gain staging, and how much headroom do you leave for plugins? A great question, Sequimica. You ask really good questions. You have a really weird name. I've never said that to you. I just want to get that off my chest right now in this moment. I would really love for you to text me a picture of yourself, because it would help me. My mind does stuff with people's names, and I could put a picture of what I think you look like. Like phonetically, Sequimica has a look, and I could animate it for you right now what I think you look like, but it's probably not what you look like. So it would help settle a conversation in my mind. Nevertheless, we're back. Yes, I'm going to try to keep this entire mix. If you're looking over here, my goal is to keep, y'all can't see my whole screen. I think I just realized that. I just had an epiphany. Yeah, sorry about that. I literally just realized that. I changed my monitor. I changed my whole room this week because I'm getting ready to start making a whole bunch of content for y'all. Put these shelves and lights in and bought a bunch of video equipment after Black Friday. A whole bunch of that stuff went on sale. Okay, I'm back. Y'all can see now. Man, I just looked at that screen. Okay, now you can see. I'm going to try to get the drum mix to feel really good. Average peaks at -10, which is about right here across the board. Oh my God. Sequim could just send me a message on Facebook. Sorry, we have to settle this immediately. Stand by. I need to add hold music to the stream. I'm going to do that this week too. Make a bunch of graphics. Oh my God. Wait a second. It's gonna happen. Sequimaka. Thank you, Jesus. I don't see you, Sequimaka. You're trying to trick me. It's okay. Okay, so it's gonna come up on my phone in a minute. -10 dB. We're back. Because when we get to through this process, we're going to start drums, styling, drum mix, -10 dB, add bass, perks, guitars, keys, acoustic probably last. We're going to try to keep all of that punchy at around -10, maybe -8 dB, because when I finally cut the limiter on after we get the BGVs locked in to start mixing in lead vocals, when that finally happens, I set my limiter to -6 dB. Because I don't want to monitor any louder than that. I know that's relative, but I also want to leave, when I send to a mastering engineer, I like to leave him 6 dB of headroom for his process. So because of that, that's just kind of my -6 is 0 for me. So I try to leave my drums punchy at -10, leave myself 2 dB of headroom for everything else in the mix in the instrumental mix to sort of populate down to -8. And then we'll have some gentle limiting with that additional 2 dB of headroom for vocals. And we'll basically slide and move and carve things out of the way on our way to a full sound. Okay. I use, and you should too, a lot of Pro Q3 dynamic EQ bands. I'm going to highly recommend you do that because it's super efficient. We'll do a whole video kind of discussing what dynamic EQ is, and for sure FabFilter Pro Q3 is the best at doing it. This is a Yamaha? Tama, Bush Babinga. These are for sure the toms from Strike the Ground. They're just really good. Now, Esdras Athea, I prophetically pronounced your name just now. Um, where and how? Good question. I started like anybody should and would, and that was just out of necessity as a producer. I sent songs to mix engineers and didn't like what I got back or didn't love what I got back, and really desired to have more control over my own sound. Interesting that did that. And in that process, I stumbled into some habits and made a lot of bad songs and did a lot of bad mixing and just worked it till I got better. That and I had the opportunity, the rare opportunity, and during a process, post production process for an Elevation Collective record I did several years ago. Um, I got a chance to go sit and watch John Yash mix for 3 days, who, in my opinion, is one of the greatest mixing engineers ever, and specifically in contemporary gospel music. I got to go watch him mix for 3 days, and it revolutionized my process. Any tips for someone in the process of learning? Yeah, I don't mean this in a narcissistic way. I would watch the stream as much as possible. Um, if I had had a resource like this, if I had a resource like this, it would have propelled me in my journey. A lot of guys are not going to let you watch their process or send you their session or let you see what plugins they use because they are concerned that you will take their work or their clientele. And I just don't believe that fundamentally. What's for me is for me. And I'm a believer in multiplication. And I believe that if I'm willing to release what's in my hand, God can fill it with more and he can trust me with more. I just fundamentally believe that the Bible reinforces that idea over and over in scripture. And so I try to just let it show up in my life, in my finances, in knowledge, all kinds of, to me, that is the way stewardship works. I give those things resources over knowledge, over experience, over because they've been loaned to me. I've checked them out from a library, and so I just return them back to God through people. So anyway, I do think this is going to be a help to you. I'm going to try to talk out loud as much as I can. The chat is kind of over here to my right, so if you see me looking over there, that's why I have my monitor over here that's got the stream up and the chat to the right, so I can see and connect with you guys. All right, let's lock in. I love this snare sample. Before you ask me where to get it from, it's from getgooddrums.com, I believe. Yeah, these guys are incredible. They make, I have to get off of here. Is there anything on here I don't own already? Sorry, don't need a coupon. Don't do that to me. Nope. Yep, they make really good stuff, and I don't need anything on their website right now. Getgooddrums.com. Really good guys. They make really cool drum samples. I also have this obnoxious room drum sample underneath it that is obnoxious. I'm going to try to play it for you. So that is happening, and then going through this plate verb, and which is Pro R. Interesting. FabFilter. Okay, so drum verb is happening here. It gets summed back into my whole drum mix. Garrick Battle. The drums are from getgooddrums.com. I need to just put that up. I need to add that to the chat, to the link tree. There's a link in my bio kind of thing. Braden, how you doing, man? There's a link. Here's their website, getgooddrums.com. Really good drum samples, pretty affordable. So you got that snare room. That's why I use a template. This is a record I mixed that I really, really love. Those drum samples fit this style. Toms are kind of heavy. Snares got a good elevation, kind of crack to it. Because we didn't have to do any wizardry here to get it going. I'll unpack the stuff I did to get to this point. These are all just like a preset that I've built from a song off my church's record I did. I mixed this over the summer. The snare sample itself is just great to begin with. I'm triggering the snare twice, once with raw drum sample, and I'm using this a bunch of stuff, more than what was in there. Sorry. So I'm gonna unpack these for you one at a time. Sorry. So I'll cut the reverb off. This is actually Guru Zebrano, I think, is a That Sounds snare. There's the overhead. There's the room. Then I have that, which is also a Paul Mabry organic perk. Buzz Beast Rooms is one of my favorite. And then that used to be my favorite Snare 2 sample. So I have the phase flipped on them. And that's just giving me some extra room. And all of those work together. Then the snare is triggered again by these two drum samples. So by this one. And that's just obnoxious. So together, those all come together like. I got you, Greg. Let's do it. Okay. 10 dB feels good for those. I still need to dial in a Tom 1 sample, but this is a lot of what I'm looking for. I want the groove to feel good at, -12. Some kind of gain staging. We'll add some perks in. Sorry, I gotta route this real quick. Yeah, Pro R, David, for the drum reverb. That's just what's in this template. We may not land there, because if you can hear it in the background, it's a little bright, I think is what I dislike. It's a little lush for me. That helps me already. Just taking the decay down to 3.4 seconds from 4.8 or whatever it was, and rolling the brightness back and moving the distance in some on the Pro R. It felt a little lush. I love this. Okay, cool. Let's go back to the API. A little parallel compression happening here. I've got the mix at about 40%. We're getting like 2.5, 2 dB max. Greg, too much questions to ask. I mean, that's what the stream is for, though. People got questions, so I want to try to address them. Here's what I promise. There'll be some courses on mixing that are no Q&A. They'll just be kind of straight down me walking through the process. But the function of the stream, for sure, is to help the people of God get their questions asked in real time. Because, everybody learns in different ways. This sound, I loved as a producer, as a mix engineer. I think I'm going to hate it. Real quick, not to scatterbrain you too much, one thing I forgot to do that I'm a huge pet peeve fan of is strip silence. Help the church. It helps me figure out where the thickest parts of the song are, densest parts of the song like which sections of the song have the most data, the most audio tracks. So this is something I like to do. Before I start getting too jiggy. We'll stay in that chorus too. This one's gonna be straightforward though, because I don't feel like I overproduced it. A lot of times when mixing, I feel like I spend my energy, especially if I'm mixing somebody else's stuff that I didn't produce. I spend a lot of energy, I feel like, trying to negotiate too many synths, too many guitars, mid frequencies, right? I feel like we did a decent job at like curating that going into it. Sean McClain, what up, man? Little shaker here. I think I'm gonna go shaker left side. Okay. Give you guys a little more overall mix volume. That shaker's probably a little too loud. Let's go Tamb here. Like the way the toms sit. I'm not mad at the reflections I'm getting reverb-wise. I'm probably going to dial it back a little bit on toms. I can hear that slapping in the distance a little bit. I'm going to stay away from synth land for a moment. I'm just turning up the size of my wave forms there so I can kind of see. There's a, yeah, this Perks Vox is coming up. Ashton Keith on the drums. Now here, I'm sort of tempted. Let me go here real quick. Make sure I have plenty of buffer. I'm kind of tempted here to use a little LFO tool and set up a basic sine wave here and tell the LFO tool to not adjust volume, but to adjust pan at a rate of a bar. Yeah, wrong file though. I want this one. So now you hear that moving a bit. I kind of like that. Like this clap sample. So I'm just trying to introduce the elements one at a time, making sure my kick and snare, stay out front and have preeminence. And I'm leaving myself, this is the encouraging thing for me, ton of headroom over here. Ton of headroom here still to bring other stuff in. And then if I need to bring the perks or guitars up, I can just give them a bump with the trim plugin. You see, I got trim plugin here. If I like the mix of the drums and I just want more drums, I'm gonna come here overall and just give them a boost, dB or so. Okay, we got a good bit of perks. Some stuff we're missing. Two. We got levels on all this stuff. All right, cool. I'm not mad at introducing. I think we did bass with a bass cab here. I like the bass cabinet sound. Man. I just remembered the counter melody. I just remembered it now. Got it. Oh, this is I forgot. I actually love this production. I'm gonna move the organ down. The great Colton Duty. TV is track verb. So if you look down here, I have a track verb, which this is my normal go-to plate, UAD plate. This is typically my track verb. It's also the exact same plate that I'm using on the lead vocals and the BGV vocals. It's my favorite plate right now. I'll go searching for another one soon, but man, tough to beat that one. What is very helpful is that the source material in this case is very good. Something that prevails online that is really good advice, and I want you to listen to that advice whenever you hear it. Don't spend too much time listening to material in solo. How do you do your summing? I'll kind of walk you through this bus here, this process bus, once we get to it. But I desire to get into analog summing. I mean, it's just an expense thing. It's some gear that I want to get my hands on. I'm going to go to Atlanta to do that for Brian Pound's record. Just kind of dump my Pro Tool sessions off and some there, but it's something I want to get into. I'll walk you through what's on my two buses in a little bit. Don't listen to stuff in solo too long because you need to hear it in context. It's a little thin, a little honky for me, so I'm using this mid-band, this note at 1600 hertz right here, and I'm using a Dynamic Pro Q3 EQ, so I can set a threshold here, and as the volume exceeds this threshold, that EQ band by itself will compress those frequencies. Which is a more musical way to tame them than just ducking the frequency and trying to eliminate it. The acoustic guitar is, as just, these guitars are stacked and pan. One to the left, one to the right, and then I'm gonna tilt this one slightly here. Now this one's got some low end in it that I think is destructive, and we'll add mud. That low end around that 120 to me starts to make the left hand of a piano feel muddy, so that's why I want to attack it. I want to go get these individually. You can hear the two there. Let's just roll that off there. Yeah, it feels a little better to me. going to drive the line input into this API EQ. So this API EQ is on my guitar bus. It's a U80 API channel strip emulation. All of the guitars are being routed into this track folder. It's a top-down mixing approach. If you've not been on the stream before for any of these, mix everything into these sort of subgroups or buses, and then process the bus a little more severely than we do process the channel. It allows for us to make more calculated cuts and adjustments to individual channels that are within a track group. So these guitars will all pass through this API. Because of that, I'm gonna drive the input a bit into the API so that I can enact this compressor. Gonna probably dial it to 3 dB or so, and we'll try to get a little bit of ducking, a little bit of pullback going on here. Let's go back to that second chorus. We'll add organ in. Most of the stuff is gain stage pretty well coming in. This piano feels a little hot. So I'm just gonna add a simple trim plugin in front of it. Kind of like the guitars where they are. If you listen carefully, that low end that gives this patch weight, a little bit of this down here adds up over time. When the crux of what I need the sound to do doesn't require that. In context, like the weight that this adds in the chorus isn't worth the mud that also adds. So what I'm gonna do more than likely in the verse where the mix is less crowded, I'm probably going to bypass this EQ in the verse to allow more weight for this patch, where in the chorus I don't need the weight because I have more stuff going on that's fighting for that same space. So we'll cut it in the chorus and probably bypass it in the verse. Kind of fishing for, I don't mind this resonating frequency here, right? 2-octave fundamental. Okay, nothing hazardous there. It's kind of just a safety net. Making a group here of this is a good question, Estrus. Quick question. I use the Helix system. Sometimes when I track, I hear some digital clipping when I play with more attack. Any tips on how to combat that? I think gain staging is going to be important from top to bottom, making sure that the volume at which you're coming into the Helix is comfortable. -10, -18 is a great place to start, and that you're hitting each of the processes at the ideal dB, right? So how much should you, the amp is a little bit different, but like any effects before the amp, making sure that you're hitting those at an agreeable level. And then even as you leave the Helix, making sure you're either coming out at the right level. If you're going into line level inputs into your interface versus mic level inputs, that all of those factors can have impact on the tone of your guitar as you record it into an interface. So I would go back and check at each one of those gain staging opportunities to make sure that you're at an ideal level. By turning stuff on and off in the chain, that will help you identify where the clipping is being introduced, at least at what point it's being introduced. You can kind of begin to make some adjustments from there. Wider here. I think I'm going to use this TV, this track verb. And I'm going to throw it on the opposite side. I haven't used Waves Factory track spacer. I'll try it though. I think I'm going to go compressor here. A little bit of compression on the lead line. Just 2 dB here. Ooh. Love that patch. That feels good. I forgot we put that sound in there. That feels like Omnisphere Band. I'll go back. If you go back and watch the streams from this week, this is that same track we worked on. I don't remember what patch it is, but it's probably in the stream somewhere. I'll go back and look at it before the day's over, though. It feels like a Omnisphere patch. Are we gonna pan this? Forgot about that. I don't think I actually meant to keep that. I think I only wanted this. Yep. Real quick programming note. One of the best things you can do as a producer, in my opinion, is delete stuff. In my opinion, it's one of the best things you can do. Like this, somebody made the comment a minute ago. Like, I love to take a day or two away from a track, even though I fell in love with all of these. Even though I fell in love with all of these sounds when we were producing it and bringing it to life, I'm so open to, man, the chorus sounds full and really good with these elements in it. We don't necessarily need to turn the rest of these up. Like, just because we put it in here doesn't mean it needs to stay in. My brother David Jennings asked what I have going on this synth bus. It's actually fairly straightforward. I'm going to open both of these. There's a Vitamin is one of my favorite Waves plugins I use for as a multi-band stereo imager. So the entire frequency spectrum is separated into these 5 bands, and I can turn them up or down and increase their width individually. And they do bleed on top of each other. You can run into some phasing issues a little bit. So you have to manipulate it and kind of find the sweet spot. And then secondarily, I use another dynamic EQ band right about 820 hertz. I move it from song to song, which is basically to duck the lead vocal. Or to duck the space in the frequency spectrum of the synth bus that the lead vocal tends to occupy the most of, depending on the song. So that's an A flat, and in the case this song, it's in D. So I'm gonna make that the 5, and make it an A. You can kind of see the keyboard right there underneath the Pro Q3. So we'll see if that needs to happen. We may also side chain into this EQ. The lead vocal may end up being side chained into here, which will allow us to, duck it in real time dynamically. So that's the function of those 2 pieces on the synth bus. Really good question. Low end feels good. I think bass amp through guitar rig was the best choice I made all week. Really subtle, but it has more texture than just being plugged in direct, which I think in this case for this song is a plus. Esdras, the answer to that is no. Everything's all on one computer. Okay. Piano feels good. It's a little punchy, a little too punchy, but I like where it sits. Slow attack, fast release, proceed. o'clock, like right here. Still, that line's still singing. The piano's a little far front. That's obnoxious. Another great technique is just to, like, again, turn stuff off to hear how much space is taken up. It's good there. As that envelope opens up, I'm just going to set this to turn itself the heck down. Yeah, as that filter opens up, you see the volume increase happen here. And I want it to get brighter, but not necessarily louder. So that's what this volume automation is going to do. It's going to compensate for the volume added by the filter opening up and creating more brightness. To compensate, I'm going to boost the volume of the front end that is lower and warmer. And then as that filter opens up, again, we'll decrease the volume here by 5 to 6 dB. That's at negative 10. And we land at negative 20, so down 10 dB. We'll probably need to run that play every time. Because I'm pretty sure that probably just, yeah, the same MIDI data. There, but it's just under control. I could stand for a little more toms. Tambourine feels maybe a little loud, not too much. You can kind of hear that in the back. A lot of low end in that patch. Yeah. You can hear it when I turn it up right there. A lot of low end in that patch. Low mids that are muddying that mug up. When all we want is the air. This song's in G. Way better. I want just the air. That's helping me a lot. Give it a little space. Here's it without the EQ. Cut a whole octave off from that sound with that cut. You can hear it. Bypassing it and turning it on right now for you. EQ on. EQ bypassed. EQ in. EQ bypass. I can't tell you the difference that that sound having one less octave in it is going to help in the mix. It may have sounded good while we were producing it in full and da-da-da, but the isolation that I'm trying to create, the clarity in the mid-range, it's essential to make those kind of cuts and sacrifices. Still love the sound, but the choice to roll that EQ and lock in on the fundamental. Notice I keep the piano roll up for all of those Pro Q3s. Probably for me, that's probably enough. Be honest with you, that's loud. It's obnoxious a little. It's cool for that patch. Oh, it only happens on the turnarounds. It's cool. Probably move this down here. Better. Let's look at the verse. So we've kind of looked at some of the louder sections. The automation from here should be pretty straightforward. I'm going to go to the first verse where some of these early percussion sounds make their first entrance. There's a few synth sounds who only play in that first verse, etc. So let's go get this, and then we'll be able to look at this opening piano. We'll do the intro in the first verse. Dial this opening piano tone in. Let me go back and get that. Gain staging it by just simply turning it down. Gonna drag that same compressor over. Relax the threshold a little bit. 2 dB worth of gain reduction. Yeah, Sam, this will be up on the YouTube page as soon as we're done. 4:05. I'm gonna try to get this done by 5 o'clock. I gotta lock in. Now I'm curious. What did I do here? Got it. Got it. Couple things. Need to pick a rim shot sample. Let's do that quickly. I talked about the Get Good Drums guys earlier. Let's go here. Snare. Do I have other? Curious. I've never. Yeah, these don't have. I'm gonna tell you, got really good rim shot articulation. I did. Sequim, produced, co-produced, and mixed that entire record. I was in over my head for sure. I'm actually one day gonna go back and remix that entire album. I mixed one song in Pro Tools, and I mixed the rest of the songs in Studio One. Um, I'm really proud of that record, though. I learned a lot. It's the most fun I ever had making music in my entire life. It's like a kid in Side Stick. Easily the most fun I ever had making music. Like that. It's got a good little. Oh, that's why I picked this? Too much word. Yep, Chris, I think if you watch that, if you go back and watch the first two episodes of this song, which I'm grateful for switching to YouTube because it'll make it easier for people. Chris has a great question about synth layering. I feel like we talked through a good bit of it in either episode 1 or episode 2 of this particular series on God Says in detail. I will say this though, the importance of it shows up now because we don't have a ton of stuff going on. It's easier to see it, I guess, sort of like visually, because I'm trying to watch to make sure that we don't have too many layers happening. All your mid-ranges here between these channels to these channels. This right here, you never want this part of the mix to get too dense. So I think you just have to monitor that. Sweet and savory, harsh, calm, round tones, obtuse tones. You're going to try to use guitars to balance those things out. And I think if you go back and listen, especially to the last one, where we pick guitar tones kind of in light of keys tones, there's a good conversation here about how we got to these choices of mono amps and using certain patches in the verse, etc. So there's some good stuff in those videos. Really good stuff, clarity. Want to go try to lock in a few more of these sounds that we haven't done yet. Let me listen to this real quick. Kind of tuck this away on the side. Love that guitar in the right, low tremolo on it. That needs more piano. Once you get that first big section dialed in, most everything is a 2 to 3, 4 dB, max 5, 6 dB boost or cut in a section of the song. You see how these waves are bigger here, and as it picks up, that verse need more presence from the piano at the top of verse 2, so I'm just boosting it to almost, that difference, in my opinion. We'll take a listen to it here. This sound is kind of a waste. I literally might cut this joint off. It only happens right there. I need to go back and pick this Tom 1 sound. Let me just do that very quickly. I should have saved If I Was Smart. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. Straight to ground. Whoo, Matthias. Channel presets. When in doubt. Boys and girls. Really? This is Tom 2 from that album? Really? I'm routing that directly to the thing and I can't hear it. One of them triggers is off. Da-ba-da-dum. Ba-da-ba-dum. I'm gonna just double this trigger. I'm gonna dial this sensitivity back. A lot better. Cool. I feel like it's better now though, because it was initially, and then I just dialed that sensitivity back. It feels a little better. Take this back a bar and kind of hear what we got. back to the top of the song, blend the swells in so we can put those to bed. Check it in the verse. Good. Swells feel good. Can I get a spoon? Yeah. I need a knife. Thanks. I'm gonna turn this up right here. There's a little pickup, Uncle Jesse style right there that I really want to hear. Boop boop bop boom. Except not that loud. Sorry, guys. Just a little tension. Yeah, I had a little soup, a little chili. Love that. I'm flying that for sure. The intro guitar, that's a mistake on my part. That should be there repronounced in the re-intro right there after the. Okay. I really love where we are. Because the drums feel punchy, the mix feels good. A little peak there at -8, negative, but for the most part, we have a ton of headroom. Yep, Zach, that's a great question. Why Pro Tools? I don't think it's a warmth. I think personally, I think for me, I think Pro Tools feels like it's the most linear container for sound. Okay. I feel like Logic is a container for sound and it's got a fat butt. So Logic does great at maintaining. I think of it like a waist trainer that maybe a spouse would wear, a female would wear. It's like Crush Logic like leaves room for booty. So it's like the bass is really thick and it like crunches mids and top end to me to make everything loud and fit. Studio One is kind of pseudo neutral, but it like crunches top end to me to in order for everything to fit inside its ideal body. I think Pro Tools like is just a very wide boxy t-shirt, which anybody and anything can look good in, and it's the most neutral to your figure that you're stuffing into there. So, and I think it translates well. Like you put a shirt on or you put clothes on and you feel good about it inside, but then when you take a picture from the side, it does weird stuff. Stomach, chest, all this stuff. Like cool. Pro Tools is to me like the most neutral, linear way to put on clothes, if you will. It can contain the most stuff and it represents that picture very well after the fact. Other DAWs like prefer. Some of them are top heavy, some of them are booty heavy, some of them hide the gut and the mids. Pro Tools is just kind of like neutral. Logic is for black women for sure. That's the best announce I can give you right now. Okay, I actually, there's not that many elements in this song. I'm going to be honest with you. I love where our instruments are sitting. I'm going to check them. We've kind of listened to these first 4 sections, verse 1, chorus 1, the turnaround. We've listened to verse 2, and we spent the most time on the chorus and the instrumental. I want to go listen to the dynamics in this bridge, the 3 bridges that make the loudest section. Let's make any major adjustments we need to make automation-wise here in terms of like, but again, a lot of this, in terms of speed and clarity, a lot of this we did in the production and arranging phase. We compensated for volume. We tucked a lot of things in. I think that is helping us tremendously. I think what will be fun tonight, Zach McKay made a comment on Facebook. I'm actually going to mix a record tonight, probably starting around 7. We'll do this till about 5:30. I'll take a quick break, and then I'll jump back in to start working on a first mix for a song that he sent me. And I think that song has like a bunch of different hands that touch it. So we'll get to encounter, I feel like, some more unique challenges and compensating for things and kind of making adjustments because it didn't all kind of flow from one hand, right? So, and which is normal, like that's normal. So I think some of the things that we encounter there will be more unique and probably even a greater teaching tool than what this is, because you guys watched this process. This is kind of like fishing in an aquarium. I know where all this stuff is going because I played most of it. So. Piano feels good there. It's a little far out front to me. You can see that's the loudest section of the piano. It's a little out front, in my opinion. I'm going to tuck it by 2 dB. I make those changes by holding command, kind of highlighting a section, and hold command to make a very fine adjustment as opposed to a coarse adjustment by just raising it up and down. It allows me to move it like a tenth of a dB at a time very easily. Those 2 dB are good for me, but I'm going to push it back up by half a dB. That's now a dB and a half. A lot of these adjustments will look like that. I could probably stand for a little more. Electric guitar. I'm going to make a temporary group so I can turn these both up by the same amount. The guitar's up by 2 dB. I'll dial it back. Like this. A little more crunch guitar. It's very subtle, but it's adding a little more weight.
far so good. Dynamics in the bridge. I'm gonna help this organ swell just a little more. Yep, and embellish that a little bit more. Same swell again there. Automating the organ to come up a little bit in this quiet section. Probably too much. Yep, the pad takes over. I don't like the organ screaming there. The organ's gonna start to turn down here. I'm gonna start to decrease the volume a little earlier. Okay, I feel pretty good about those volume changes. This feels good here. I think I'm ready for BGVs, which are already tuned. The thing that will be a little tedious, that I probably should have did ahead of time, but I'll walk you through it, is tune the lead vocal. I'll kind of show you a trick for streamlining that process, hopefully a little bit. So Check, check. Okay, cool. Y'all can hear me. Let's finish up. Okay, that's where we are. Let's add the BGVs in. I forgot what these sound like. I'm going to be honest with you.
You left the 99 for me, I'm the one.
Forgot.
A prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. You saved me. You left the 99 for me, I'm the one. A prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love.
I'm going to gain stages down a touch.
You saved me. You left the 99 for me, I'm the one. A prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love.
I'm going to route all these to a bus.
Me. You left the 99 for me, I'm the one. A prodigal under the blood, unworthy
Sorry, get that
of
routing
this
right.
love. You saved me. You left the 99 for me, I'm the one.
Okay.
A prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. You saved me.
Good.
You left the 99 for me, I'm the one. A prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. You saved me. You left the 99 for me, I'm the one. A prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. You saved me. You left the 99 for me, I'm the one. A prodigal under the You saved me. You left the 99 for me, I'm the one. A prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. You saved me. You left the 99 for me, I'm the one. A prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. You saved me. You left the 99 for me, I'm the one.
Good.
A prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. You saved me. You left the 99 for me, I'm the one.
Okay.
A prodigal under
Just trying to get
the
that
blood,
blend right.
unworthy of this love. You saved me.
Okay.
You left the 99 for me, I'm the one. A prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. You saved me. You left the 99 for me, I'm the one. A prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love.
kind of want those
You left
nice
the
and clean without the breath.
99 for me. I'm the one. A prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. You save me. You left the 99 for me. I'm the one. Prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. You save me. You left the 99 for me. I'm the one. Prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. You save me. You left the 99 for me. I'm the one. Prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. You save me. You left the 99 for me. I'm the one. Prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. You save me. You left the 99 for me. I'm the one. Prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. You save me. You left the 99 for me. I'm the one. Prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. You save me.
Yes. Supreme God, definitely leave the lead vocal for last. The reason being, I'm trying to prepare a space for the lead vocal to live. And by having, I'm kind of, I know in my mind how large of a seat that is. And so I'll still make some cuts and stuff to other things to make room for it, but hopefully we've done our job. We introduced the lead vocal. We'll move whatever we need to out of the way so it can have its space and be present, but it shouldn't be too much. And you'll start to see, we haven't done any track bus processing. I just want to say that out loud. I take a top-down approach except on the 2-bus. Like, I don't mix into a limiter. I don't mix into any bus processing on my overall music or track bus, which I think is an advantage. I like having effects processing on all the other buses because, again, if I can feel good about how this is now, when I start turning on some of this processing, like this SPL iron is going to do some nice mid-side compression and some stereo imaging. That's great. Pro MB is going to do some mid-side, some multi-band compression that's going to put a nice, another little waist trainer on. This Pro Q3 is going to make some nice little cuts, dynamic EQ cuts that'll be very helpful to achieving overall balance. All of those things are going to make it even easier for the lead vocal to stand out because it's going to take the music, which has a nice blend now, and actually just open it up and spread it about 15% more. So if we can achieve it without the help of all these heavy duty ozone and tape saturation, this, that, and the third first, if we feel really good with just like EQ, compression, a little verb, and good levels, good panning, that's what a mix really is. The rest is just like sauce and window dressing. If the raw ingredients are not good, slapping loads and loads of plugins on it is not the answer. Fix the source material, EQ, compression, volume, panning. That is 70-75% of a mix. If it don't sound good like that, if you don't feel if I don't feel good about it, like how I do right now, I feel good about how this mix sounds with really just those elements in place. Yeah, we missed it somewhere before this moment. Yeah, we missed it somewhere before this moment, if that's the case. So we will pull this thing up in Melodyne. And I think the key is G. I thought it was D before. Similar key signature. I don't have perfect pitch, but it's definitely G. Tell it it's ooh. This does not look like my normal. Oh, this joint right here. Yeah, there we go. G major. Okay, it knows it's in G major. Pull this up to about 90%. Do not use the pitch drift, boy. So Quimica asks, you didn't made a statement. You didn't compress every track in the mix. When do you know you need to and when you don't? Good question. I'm gonna try to give you a general answer. I don't think you need to compress every track in the mix. Compression is a sound that I have to like more than like controlling the volume of a sound. I think if I use, sometimes people use compression to control volume when automating the volume would be a better solution than compressing the sound. Compression does have a sound. The compression of transients does have a sound. Diminished attack does have a sound. Compressed attack has a sound that I think is good in some cases for songs. It helps drums for the transient, the initial attack of the drum to get through, and then the decay of the drum to be compressed and controlled so it doesn't explode too much. I can control when and how that explosion occurs throughout the music. That to me is the appropriate use of compression, and everything doesn't need it. Not everything is transient driven. Pads per se don't necessarily need to be compressed. They need to be turned down in some instances because that consistent sine or sawtooth wave shape into a compressor will create a lot of restriction, and that can sound very mushy on a synth, for example, when sometimes volume automation is all that's needed. The other reason, again, is that we treated in the first two videos, we treated all of these percussion sounds in Studio One, compressed them, reverb, etc., so that when we got them here, these tracks would look bare and empty like this because we did a lot of that processing in the production process. So a little less heavy lifting. This one's actually kind of a boring mix in a good way. In a good way.
When it's all
When it's, let me turn that down just a touch. It's just like killing me loud. Let me close this stuff up so I can see what God is trying to do through us. We have every track on the left side in the instrument section blended in, which is cool. And then we'll bounce stems in a little bit when we're done here, BG. So I'm just going to close this up so we can kind of see a little clearer. And I'll turn, some of this stuff down. Delay's cool. And let's tackle this.
crashing down,
I'm going to watch these pieces of vibrato.
I can hardly stand my ground.
So I want to make sure.
Ground.
We're going to split this blob here. Why? Because this is, let me go back so you can see. This is not two notes, it's one note, but she was under it quite a bit initially coming in. As we split it, we'll be able to have more control over each section.
My ground. And the world has taken.
Is that?
And the world has taken all that I own. Has taken all that I own. Oh, I've run.
You want that sound of prep, breathing in, licking of lips, things of that nature. You want that stuff out of there. It will sound like clicks and pops almost in your music if you're not careful.
Taking all that I own.
All that I is what she's singing.
That I own.
All that I own. She finishes the I on the one and then kind of diphthongs into it. All that I own
has taken all that I own.
And then the vibrato itself is just a little under. We're going to dim that up, bend that up. This is supposed to be all the way to the 3, so that should be up to G.
Has taken all that I own.
Good.
Oh, I've run.
It's a little sharp. Oh, it's flat.
Oh, I've run.
Okay, vibrato on it's pretty wide. We're going to try to narrow it just a bit so that the top of it doesn't feel as sharp and the bottom of the vibrato doesn't feel as flat.
Oh, I've run.
A little tighter.
Far too far from home. From home. Too far from home. From home. Oh, you from home.
It drifts flat a little bit, so we pushed it back up.
Oh, you wrap me.
Okay. This should start on the 1. Oh, you wrap me is what it should be.
Oh, you wrap me.
Me. And she opens up the E vowel. It goes sharp.
Oh, you wrap me in your.
We're going to pull these breaths. E. All of that's going sharp. So we're going to pull it down.
Oh, you wrap me in your arms.
Hopefully you can hear that pitch-wise. It's subtle,
Too
but it's
far
sincere.
from home. Oh, you wrap me in your arms and said.
It's not bad.
In your arms and said.
Little sharp coming in.
Don't worry.
Some people overcorrect Melodyne, trying to make every blob look perfect. I don't think that's what it's about. You have to use your ear and allow and I don't want to say trust Melodyne, but like also help let Melodyne's data help you make better decisions. Okay. So I made that cut there, which will allow me to treat this a little easier than the end that seems to want to go sharp.
Oh, you wrap me in your arms and said,
Good.
don't worry.
Don't worry.
Don't worry, why have you?
What have you for?
Why have you?
Yep. Little mouth noise there.
And I'm working all things.
It's a little sharp. Top of the vibrato's a little high. A little too much in E flat. Not enough of it centered around D, the 5.
Working all things.
I'm working on.
I'm working all things for your good.
You're good, is what she's saying.
Why love? And I'm working all.
We'll use this to get a little tighter.
I'm working all things for your good.
It's okay.
Why love you?
Love you. Should be 3.
And the world has taken. Why love you? And no matter where you go,
Where you go? It's good. Just cleaning the end of this. These edges.
and no matter where you go, I'll be.
It's cool.
I'll be waiting for you.
Waiting for you. I think is what she meant to do.
I'll be waiting for you to come back. I'll be waiting for you to come back home. I'll be waiting for you to come back home again.
And I think is what it is. Bar 48. Let me listen to the original. Ba-da-ba-da-ya.
Back home again.
Again, yeah. Oh, I can bypass it? Woo! Thank you, Jesus.
Again.
It sounds like she meant to do 3. And it sounds like what she meant to do. So we'll make it that. Even though, yeah, they sing 4 right here. Yeah, there's the least amount of tension on 3.
When it's again.
What? Let's assume now it's supposed to be 1. Let's just do that. Cool. We'll cut this because that blob is drifting. Okay.
And all I have.
Let's get that right. All I
And all I have. have left is these scars. But you stay close. All I have left is these.
Listen, Zach, she said, facts. I didn't know couldn't tell exactly what it was. That's why I had to bypass Melodyne to see, somebody break out in tongues in church. Sometimes you gotta let that one rest. Cut the organ off for a second so the Lord can speak to the rest of us and tell us what you just said.
Is the
Just cut it off. Turn the Leslie noise off too.
Is the scar
In these 5.
Is the scars. But you stay.
Long breath, okay? Cut that one out.
But you stay close.
5s is wearing her out. But you stay close.
You stay close to the broken heart.
Two.
To the broken heart.
I think is what she's singing. Yeah, 3, 2, 1, 3. I'm not sure actually. Hold on.
Heart.
Never mind. Okay, 3 to 3 is what she wants to do, but this joint here sailing on her too. All right, let's get this back down, kind of clean that. Again, we want the center of gravity, if you will, the centermost part of the vibrato to be predominantly contained in the note intended. Naturally, vibrato is going to exist, a semitone or portions of a semitone above the intended note. That's natural. If it didn't create that much fluctuation in the pitch, you wouldn't really feel it. So that's okay.
To the broken heart, you are.
I mean, 5, baby. 5. But then it drifts. So some of that is Melodyne. Because Melodyne's negotiating, but it's just still not close. The original's not close. It's okay. I mean, that's what pitch correction is for. Melodyne might have helped her achieve something more than what she set out for right there. And we might just let Melodyne do his thing. I'm curious. I'm definitely going to bypass that and see what happened in church. I'm curious now. Just pure curiosity. Because that was...
You are near.
With a little diphthong in there.
Are near.
This one right here is really nice. I don't think she meant to do that. She might have, though. Let me not sleep on no girl. Hey, babe. How was the store? Good.
Here.
She might have. Y'all got popcorn? I was about to say, it smells good. Make it a hug. Love you.
Tonight's movie night
It is? Okay, I'm almost done.
for me.
Streaming.
Are near.
Go ahead, sis. I take back. You missed that 8 notes in a row. Sang that lick like your life depended on it. I'm with you. I'm here for it. This one's drifting. I don't know what this is. Ooh, wait. Okay, this looks like a whole step scoop. I'm singing it slow, but that's basically what she did.
Here.
Yeah, that's basically what it ends up being.
You've always been right.
Fine.
You've always been,
Squeeze.
you've always been right.
It's trailing on us. One right there. These are a little high. These sit pretty well inside the note. They still trail a little high and then settle in. So we're gonna cut it there too. As these last two shakes feel more even. These still lean higher, less high, highest coming down like this, right? So then we're gonna try to use the pitch tool to keep these all kind of in a medium.
Always been right here.
All right. Instead of doing those two at a time, we're just going to inherit this natural downward slope. Try to rectify that. Okay.
You've always been right here. Oh.
All right. Let's try to fix a couple of these runs. Okay. What?
Oh.
Okay. Oh, she's doing. Yeah. Oh, she does the 7. Yeah, I think that's supposed to be the 7.
Oh.
Yeah. Cut this because the vibrato's just like scooping a bit too much. And then this is going to be imperfect. We're going to average this out, but we have to leave the in order to get the best result for like, here's the middle and these two are equidistant from the middle. We have to leave the blob a little higher than middle.
Oh.
Yep. Sometimes you got to ignore the visual, or you have to ignore the ideal and the laziness of like just snapping every single one of them things in there. And that saved us from making an unnecessary cut to the blob, which would cause like weird artifacts to show up as we transition from note to note. Sometimes that's the best way, is to understand just kind of over time and experience how the blob or a blob or Melodyne wants to behave and work. I don't know. It's like if I know my toddler's going to throw a temper tantrum, there are things I can do to like work inside those confines,
Even in
instead of trying to like carry them and muscle them to the ground, kind of let them wear themselves out.
even in the valley, even in the valley of the shadow of death.
Flat, 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 flat. And so it starts sharp. I'll take these, ascend up, and then start to come down. So I'm going to cut here. Drastic change there. Cut there. So we'll shrink, and then boom, boom, boom. And then level those out, level those out, level those out.
Of death.
It's a smoother vibrato there.
You walk with me. Oh, you meant it when you said.
Okay. This is kind of okay, except for that right there. Probably could have made a better initial cut.
You walk with me. Oh, you meant it when you said. Don't worry.
I gotta listen to that 77 to see what that was originally supposed to be. All right, let me go here. Let's look at this one more time. I'm gonna go to Melodyne, bypass.
You walk with me. Oh, you
The dip up is quick. So
Oh, you meant it when you said, don't worry, oh, I have you,
boo ba da da da.
and I'm working all things for your good,
Good.
and I love you.
A little sharp there. Da ba da da da.
I love you,
Good.
and no matter where you go,
Good.
I'll be waiting for you.
I can't go there with you, baby. I can't do that.
Be waiting for you to
I'm
come.
gonna try to make it a little less
I'll be waiting for you.
to me. It's, okay. It's a pretty good note, a full voice. The little acorn dust in your throat a little bit. It's good. Like it. I like the tone. I like her full voice tone.
I'll be waiting for you
Good.
to come back home again. Oh, home again. You save me. You lift the
Cool. Good cut right here.
home again.
Again. It's cool. And instead of
Home
the half step.
again. You save me. You lift the 99 for me. I'm the one.
Good. You lift the 90.
99 for me. I'm the one. You lift the 99 for me. I'm the one. A prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love.
A product.
A prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. You save me.
You say me. Let me try to tighten those up. You lift the 99 for you.
Of this love.
Okay, these are a little high. Kind of got in here. Tuck these in. A prodigal under the blood. Melody feels really good.
Blood, unworthy of this love. You save me.
Dun.
You lift the 99 for me. I'm the one. A prodigal under the blood.
A prodigal. She's like, singing these glissandos and whole step sort of bends and trills up to notes, which is cool. It's a stylistic choice.
Prodigal under the blood.
Just have to make sure they're clean and they don't feel. Sometimes it's an alto singing soprano, like she's an alto.
that when she pushes hard has like a cool rasp right here at this break in her voice. That works. You don't want to overly, got to be careful here because at the top of your range, anybody right there, you'll start to, whole steps will start to become lazy half steps sometimes. And you want to, if you can, avoid that if at all possible.
Of this, of this, of this love, you, of this love.
All right, let's go back.
You left the 99 for me. I'm the one,
Pretty tone though.
a prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. You save me.
Little high on save. Yep. Mm-hmm.
You left the 99 for me. I'm the one, a prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. You save me. You left the 99 for me. I'm the one, a prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. So don't worry.
Got it. They like punched in on that comp. Okay.
So don't worry, 'cause he has you, and he's working all things for your good. Oh, he loves you, and no matter where you go, he'll be waiting for you to come back home again.
All of that is sharp.
So come home again.
All right, let's try to fix that.
Oh, you man. So don't worry, 'cause he has you, and he's working,
And he's working.
and he's working all things.
5.
All things for your good.
You're good.
Oh, he all things for your good. Oh, he loves you. Oh, he loves you. And no matter where you go, he loves you.
You.
And no matter where you go, he'll be waiting. Where you go, he'll be waiting.
Okay, a lot of stuff happening here. It's kind of at the bottom of her range, so we need to try to help her. This cut and this cut is going to help this note level out more. No matter.
matter where you go.
Where you go. Is basically what's happening.
Matter where you go, you'll be. Matter where you go, you'll be
You'll
be waiting for you, for you to come back home.
to come.
Come back home again. Come back home again.
That one a little sharp. That's probably Melodyne right there, pulling it down or pulling it up. Ba-ba-da. Cool. Make these two cuts here. Boo-ba-da-da-da.
So come home again. So come home again.
It's better. Two right there. Okay. Okay. A prodigal under the banner. Donnie, what up, man? Hope you're doing well, man. We haven't talked on the phone a little bit. Good to see you. Just to know you're alive forever. And I know you've been running around. We got to catch up this weekend.
When it's all crashing down, night. When it's all crashing down,
All right, we're going to listen to this down.
and I can hardly stand my ground.
Sorry, that very first note felt a little weird. Let's listen to this down now. I'm going to check. For the most part, this chain has never failed me. This is for David Jennings. My vocal chain, almost all the time, is at least this stuff, with some exceptions right now. Two Fab Melodyne and the Fab Filter Pro MB first into Pro Q3 and into this Kive Audio distressor. Really love it. It's really good in my opinion. Outside of the U80 distressor emulation, this is my favorite one for sure. You can buy it by itself from Kive Audio, or it's included in your Plugin Alliance bundle. That's the crux of it. Sometimes I'll go RVox if it's feeling RVoxy. Again, if it's R&B. For worship, this chain keeps me grounded. Those three in that order. Multi-band, doing Pro MB doing multi-band compression, again, which is basically a elaborate dynamic EQ, right, in sections with individual attack and release capability plus expansion. So this functions as my multi-band dynamic EQ, if you will, but also as my de-esser, which is basically, a de-esser is just a specific concentrated dynamic EQ band focused on top end. So this is multiple functions in one. This is acting as a de-esser up here, just in this band, from 6.5K up. You're going to get some gentle compression. Medium attacks here, right? Medium attacks, letting the transient information in. Quick releases, different thresholds for each one of these bands, which is very helpful. If I want to let more of the low end be pronounced in the vocal but still be compressed, relax the threshold, relax the attack, which allows the initial presentation of the low end to come through. Then the compressor responds, and then it will, after the threshold is no longer an issue, it will release, quickly, or whatever speed I set it to, usually pretty quickly. So that's the function of this. It's just, again, a waist trainer, and then it's a nice waist trainer. And then the Pro Q3 is just like a belt, or just safety pins, if you will, is the Pro Q3 to kind of tuck in the garment in some specific spots. And then the Distressor has a sound and a character to it. It's just powder or makeup or something like that to give the whole outfit like a pop, lip gloss, a sheen, if you will. Sorry, I don't know why that metaphor is relevant.
When it's all crashing down,
We're at a good spot.
I can hardly stand.
Our meters are absolutely big boy chilling.
And the world has taken all that I own. Oh, I've run far too far from home.
This controller is not working as the Lord intends it to work. All right, let me indulge me for 30 seconds. I'm trying to figure out why V control is working. This is all right. This is set to V control. And then this is right. Peripherals. Input devices. Yeah, all of that is right. I'm just trying to get my MIDI controller working. Hardware, session sync MIDI keyboard, peripherals. Yeah, this is right. To come back home again. I feel like it was supposed to be this, though. I'm going to go back and read this real. This will take me 30 seconds. You can cut this from the video if you want to. Yes, I've saved Sequima. I'm going to save it again. I've been saving throughout. That's a loyal, that's a good friend. Have you saved? Boy, That's a good friend would send you that text. Have you Command S today? Woo. That's like a good neighbor. Discount double check me, dog. I'm with you. I'm with you. Fade up real quick. You can put Yup. Yup. It's not. Yup. 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 Yeah. V Control Pro Users Guide. Pro Tools. Yeah, okay, cool. This is wrong. Peripherals. Huey. I wish this worked better in Pro Tools natively. You have to do like witchcraft to make this thing do what you want it to do. Predefine X4 XT4. Okay, cool. I mean, it's almost there. Okay. Thought I did all of that right. This is good. Peripherals is good. MIDI. Input devices. All of this is right. Boom. Boom, boom.
It's all crashing down.
It's pretending like it wants to control it. Stand by. Huey. Yeah, this is all right. Control XT2, XT2, XT3. Okay. Because this is really where the... I've been mixing on my laptop, so I've already fought this battle. Yes, all three in the Pro Tools, peripherals, Huey, V Control to V Control. Yes. MIDI peripherals. Do you open the MIDI peripherals setup window in Pro Tools? There's one way to resolve most issues when yeah. That's what I'm going to try to do is not reboot my PC, because if I reboot my PC, I have to restart the stream, and I want this to be one continuous thing. I got a workaround for it. If it doesn't want to work, I'm going to close Pro Tools real quick. And it typically, on my laptop, this thing works so well. I just restarted my fader port. Closing that stupid thing. Then I'm about to restart this, John. Electro Control Pro. I believe God. Okay. Open this mug back up. See if it works. Who knows? If not, I can work around it. I mean, that junk ain't working at all. Thing is, it's snapping. Peripherals. That Huey's all set up. I mean, that thing works like a dream on my laptop. I'm going to check it in between. Input devices. Yep, all of this is right. Broadcaster. Oh. Crazy. All of that's working. All right. I mean, we're so close, so let's drive it in.
It's all crashing down, and I can hardly stand my ground, and the world has taken all that I own. Oh, I've run far too far from home. You got me in your arms and said, don't worry, why have you? Don't worry, why have you? And I'm you got me
A little bit of
in your
breath.
arms and said, don't worry, why have you? And I'm working all things for
Yeah, it's in Studio One Moon. Hold, I literally mixed in my bedroom with this controller on my laptop top of last week.
No matter where you go, I'll be waiting for you to come back home again.
Clean that breath up right there.
Come back home again. You're good. Why love you? No matter where you go, I'll be waiting for you to come back
couple of these instances, I'm going to automate some reverb tails and delays, which I normally would use my fader port to do, but it's not acting appropriately right now. So I'm going to do it manually.
Come back home again. All I have left is these scars. But you stay close. Is these scars. But you is these scars. These scars.
Just wanted to hear the reverb, the delay tail.
These scars. But you stay close to the broken heart. You are near. You've always been right here. Oh, even in the valley of the shadow of death.
Want to create a little bit more compression, energy in the distressor, since these vocal rides are broader.
All I have left is these scars. But you stay close to the broken heart. You are near. You've always been right here. Oh, even in the valley of the shadow of death, you walk with me. Oh, you meant it when you said, don't worry, oh, I have you, and I'm working all things for your good. I love you, and no matter where you go, I'll be waiting for you to come back home again.
All right, as this chorus goes up the octave,
When you said, don't worry, oh, I have you, and I'm working all things for your good. And I love you, and no matter where you go, I'll be waiting for you to come back home again. You save me.
okay, I like the placement of all of this actually. I'm gonna increase the room reverb. We'll let in a little bit more room and hall as this chorus happens.
Don't worry, oh, I have you, and I'm working all things for your good. Don't worry, oh, I have you, and I'm working all things for your good. Worry, oh, I have you, and I'm working all things for.
So probably not that dramatic with the repeats. Probably won't. These need to be a little more centered. Spread in it.
Worry, oh, I have you, and I'm working all things for your good. And I love you, and no matter where you go, I'll be waiting for you to come back home You saved me.
I like that.
You left the 99 for me. I'm the one.
What's good to know in this moment, we're still not crossing negative 60 B, and we still have no sort of compression, multi-band dynamics, tape saturation limiter at all on our 2-bus, which is helpful. It's a good place to be. We got plenty. We have so much room to make space for our lead vocal and its reverbs. And we have the vocal sitting a little bit on top of the mix right now. We want to try to do everything in our power with volume, panning, reverb, compression, delay right now before we go to do massive 2-bus edits. And I'll explain that in a moment because we're going to turn on some of this processing on the track bucks, and you'll hear the track sort of make even more space for the vocal to feel submerged.
All I have left is these scars, but you stay
So trying to give us a little bit of reverb lift in the pre-chorus.
Even in the valley of the shadow of death, you walk with me. Oh, you meant it when you said, "Don't worry, oh, I have you." And I'm working all things for your good. And I love you. And no matter where you go, I'll be waiting for you to come back home You said to come back home
Probably.
Save me. You left the 99 for me. I'm the one, a prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. You save me. You left the 99 for me. I'm the one, prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. You save me. You left the 99 for me. I'm the one, a prodigal under the blood.
So when those BGVs come in, it's a little strong. So we'll bring this back up a dB and a half.
You save me. You left the 99 for me. I'm the one, a prodigal under the blood, unworthy of this love. So don't worry, 'cause He has you, and He's working all things for your good.
Turn this hall reverb down.
He loves you, no matter where you go. He'll be waiting for you to come back home again. So come home again.
Neither. I will neither go to the car and test it nor use the car emulation. The car test is the linear response in the headphones can be trusted. I don't over indulge the car test. Maybe for bass response only. I trust my AirPods more than that because more people are going to listen to them in AirPods than in their car these days.
Don't worry, 'cause He has you, and He's working all things for your good. to come back home again. So come home again.
Okay, so for the most part, the vocals feel pretty solid. If my controller wasn't working or I was somewhere mixing without one, I like to use Vocal Rider in fast mode just to help tuck and dip some of the tails and peaks. It's just helpful. And then I'm still kind of against Vocal Rider in addition to help it doing these slight vocal adjustments, these volume automation adjustments here. So real quick, 2 bus on our way out. This SPL iron, we're gonna add it in to our track bus. All of these instrument buses are dumping into the track bus. This SPL iron is adding some emulation of some transformers and a little bit of harmonic distortion. Mostly I have it in mid-side mode to compress the mids a bit and softly compress, even at half the intensity of the mid. The sides are being compressed ever so gently. And then I'm expanding the stereo width by 12%, just a bit. I might do like 15 to give it some width. And so I'm going to A-B that so you can hear it. I'll turn on, I use this trim plugin in some instances to bring the track up. I'll talk about that in a moment. And then we'll turn all this stuff off for now. Okay, so let's start with SPL iron. We'll A-B that.
Don't cry. Don't worry. Oh, I have you.
I'm not sure if you can hear that. That's it turned on.
And I'm working all things for your good.
And then the TDB it adds, I typically reduce that.
And no matter where you
Might be
go,
2.5 for the vocal.
I'll be
You listen to that, that makes the music wider and bigger.
to come back home again. Worry, oh, I have you,
I'm gonna do
and I'm working
a 1
all
dB increase for the lead vocal.
things for your good.
And now all I'm doing right now is just trying to take the finished product of the music, add a little polish, the finished product of the lead vocal, and make sure they all in the loudest sections like sit and mesh well together. The vocal rides are in, the music rides are in. This is just overall polish, like trimming the frosting on the cake, making sure the decorations on top look good. So that's all this is just trying to settle everything. Yep. Yes. Yes, okay, good. If you're watching, as you guys are going back to the comments, if you're watching later, the width does a ton, man. That SPL iron, it adds 2 dB of gain, which is why you see in my chain, I have this trim plugin right after it, usually to compensate for the additional boost that it adds. I compensate for it there. So
Worry, oh, I have you, and
but it
I'm
like
working
emptied out the middle a little bit,
all
and then still the
things
lead vocal like sinks into the middle gently, and the sides of the music get a little bit louder and brighter and more exciting, and then the lead vocal just has this nice clean pocket right in the middle to fall into.
worry,
And all the vocal reverbs sit well, but you can hear the delay more, and I didn't turn it up.
and I'm working all things
And I'm gonna turn it on and off for you.
your good. And I love you,
That's it, off.
and no matter where you go, I'll be
That's the lock.
waiting for you to come back home again. Worry,
You hear it in the toms a lot.
oh, I have you,
Now, okay, running to the finish line. Little bit of using Pro Q3 to do some expansion, the opposite of compression. So same concept, a threshold is set right about the snare energy. And so this is going to, hopefully you'll see it when I cut it on. Every time the snare hits, it's going to actually boost the frequencies of the around that snare guitar area by 2 dB very quickly. You'll see it.
Why have you? And I'm working all day.
And the reverse is happening here at 2700. So that's all this is doing.
Why
It's a little tummy tuck for the whole thing.
have you? And I'm working all things for your
And this is just all this process right here is doing is taking what was a good mix already and just and people use this word, it's just gluing it together, right? The SPL iron, the mids being compressed is creating space in the middle for the vocal, and the sides being uncompressed and turned up and made wider just further embellishes the fact that the middle is now a little bit more open. But because we went and carved in the front end of the mix, we carved up the middle frequencies, there's a clean pocket for the lead vocal. We did it in a very dry, neutral space so that now that you add all these garnishes and embellishments, like we made a really good cake, really good, just chicken and rice, not too much spice. Now you get to come in and make very subtle changes on the two-bus. Sprinkle, oregano, paprika, garlic, and all the flavors kind of pop, if that makes sense. That's the point. That's the reason for the process being specific the way it was.
Why have you? And I'm working all things for your good. And I love you. And no matter where
Look
you
at this.
go,
Second chorus, negative 10 dB.
I'll be waiting
That's probably my pride and joy.
for you.
Fullness of this mix. Beaters are chilling.
Come back home again.
That is my goal at this moment in every mix, that like we've done our job. The mix is very much in control sonically and volume wise. We have a ton of room. In this moment, we've done our job.
Why have you?
This Pro MB is coming, it's turning up very subtly, dB and a half, all in the low mids to give the whole thing some warmth. And then there's compression going on for all the buses. Just more of a girdle, more of a waist trainer across the whole mix. Just a bit, very subtle. You'll hear it here. Not a whole lot of reduction going on here.
Why have you?
None going on there.
And I'm working all things for your good.
Very small amounts.
And I love you. And no matter where you go, I'll be
You can really hear it now. The Pro MB working as this glue to keep everything tucked.
to come
Transients,
back home.
slow attacks on all of these, right? These slow attacks allow for the punch of the drums, the punch of the guitars to get through. So compression is occurring, but it doesn't feel tacky or mushy because the initial approach of the instrument is getting through. The compressor allows that to be pronounced, and it's actually biting and compressing on the decay or sustain of the note. That trend, that thought process occurred all the way down the line. The API 2500, this Neo Bold, all of the individual guitars, all the bus compression, the compression on the bass, individual compressors on drums, toms, etc. That same pattern was applied to let the punch through and compress the tail ends of things. That's when you hear guys online talk about glue. This is what, hopefully, if you watch this mixing stream, this video, this 3 hours, all the way through, you'll kind of hear now the gluiness, cumulative glue, just Elmer's over time, just kind of help everything stick together. I love the result. Okay, we'll take the same pattern ahead. I don't need that. That's another 2 dB cut. We'll look at, let's talk a little bit, multi-band. Now I'm on my master, if you will, because I treat this process bus as my master, and then this listen bus is what I'm listening to, a separate output, VSX, and then what y'all are listening to is my speakers. So really my 2 buses here, and it really goes to 2 different places. This is dumping into this listen bus, and then this is sending straight to speakers. So, yep. Yeah, I'm glad it helped you, Sequimica, for real. I'm very, very glad when the light can click for people and they can take it and kind of do their own thing with it. Mid-side Ozone Dynamics plugins, one of my favorite. It's always the beginning of my two bus. We're gonna do a little bit of mid-side work here. The low mids, slow attacks, fast releases. We're gonna listen to just the middle here. We don't want too much. Here's our dBs of reduction. I might allow this to get almost, a little over 2 dB here. Yeah, it's comfy. Listening to just the middle of the mix. We'll come here harshly a little bit. Not mad, 2.5, 3. Not mad at that. Boosting the low end at 2.5. I'll take it down to 2 for a second. Let's hit mid. Here comes adjusting the size. Really compressing the snot out of the sides. Yeah. And that's pretty much most of what I'm doing with this. Slamming the midsection of the sides, and then gently compressing the midsection of the mids and the middle of the mix in the mid frequency. Sorry. And this is just kind of a aesthetically pleasing plugin that I love. I discovered it during the Strike the Ground album process. It's probably my favorite tape saturation plugin. I don't know if you know if it's my favorite. This is my favorite preset in a tape emulation plugin. I love it. It does cool things to the way I mix. It's just a full mix glue preset that's got a nice little low boost that I couldn't tell you. Maybe we'll do a deep dive one day and figure out what it's doing. But it's beautiful what it does. I'll A-B it here. So this is where they bypassed. Here is it on. For the last little bit, here's just a nice little Pro L. Here are the settings here. Modern. These aren't even right settings. Attack. Really slow. Release. Really slow. Channel link should be completely off. Don't know what's happening here. But my output is set to -6 dB. And we probably don't need 10 dB of gain. Let's see. Might. straight down. I usually feel good about sending mix one at this point. Once I've completed this process, I'm going to send mix one, get notes from the producer and from the artist, but it's usually going to be small stuff. A slight vocal boost here, this syllable, this word, overall more guitar or a specific line, etc., etc. Not major changes usually up until this point. So, let's do a nice listen down. I hope you've taken notes. Somebody, maybe Sequima could go back and send me some timestamps in the comments for the different sections in this video. I really hope it helps you. Before we dismiss, let's review the mix kind of straight down sonically, and then I'm actually going to put a nice little volume fade here. I'm going to do it on this bus, actually. And we'll just fade that down and call it a day. All right, cool. Let's take a listen from the top down.
It's all crashing down, and I can hardly stand my ground, and the world has taken all that I own. Oh, I've run far too far from home. Oh, you wrap me in your arms and said, don't worry,
Love that.
I have you, and I'm working all things for your good. I love you, and no matter where you go, I'll be waiting for you to come back home
Guitars feel really good.
All I working all things for your good. Oh, he loves you no matter where you go. He'll be waiting for you to come back home again. So come home again.
A few breaths here and there, but all in all, not too shabby, young man. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Well, I want to say thank you always to everybody that comes on and hangs out for the stream. This is a service unto thee. The function for doing this, I was going to do this anyway on a Saturday. The function of it is so that there are things on YouTube. Hopefully this stream is unique in that, again, there's no secrets. I'm not trying to hide anything. Send me questions, email me, text me. If there's stuff in the stream that didn't make sense, things you want me to go back and explain maybe in more detail, please leave that in the comments. Subscribe, join the community. I promise you we'll be working on making more videos and creating content to help unpack all of these things. I want to hear stuff you guys are working on. It matters to me. Adrian Morrison sent me something to listen to this week. That was crazy, by the way. Glenn Gibson playing keys, something he mixed in a service. It took me a minute. I had to listen to it 3 times before I could give him a mixed critique because the stuff that was going on was so crazy. Anyway, would love to mix something like Glenn Gibson is playing on. It was nuts. At any rate, thanks so much. I love and appreciate you guys for joining the stream and hanging out. I'll be back on in a little while to mix a song for my brother, Zach McKay. He sent me a really good record that I can't wait to sink my teeth into. A lot of crazy musicians playing on that song, so ton of name drops. He's got an amazing cast of characters playing on that record. Ben, I'm gonna go back and clean up probably some of the breaths. Some of them are necessary to help establish, and it's weird if it's a super intimate part without the breath. Some of them I'll get rid of. Some of them I will just turn down just a bit so they don't like too loud. So I'll go back and catch those. They need the stems for this, I think, for something they're performing tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and print the stems and then work through the mixed revisions with my brother Kurt between tonight and tomorrow. Thank you so much to him for letting me mix this record and be a part of this record. I'm super grateful. If there's ever anything I can do to help support music you guys are making, please let me know. Reach out. We'd love to be a part. And we'd love to even just use some of that on the stream to help educate other people and to help them grow. I love you. Appreciate it, man. Send a mix to Matt at Fader Culture.